Oof. Well, we'll see for Pi. We already hyped him up for the longest time, being aggressive, being able to make plays happen, but recently he's always been shut down. If he wants to really prove himself and prove all the doubters wrong, this is the moment to do it.
Just like Darren Till, shout outs to him. He's lost, what, 2 of his fights, but it's okay. That's not what we want to focus on. The Angela is flex, and Alter Ego sense that the Angela will be flexed to mid. So they ban out the Grok and Cho, and they pick up Big Man Brody, BMB.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So they're just really doubling down on this early game, right? They want to be able to utilize this Brody to get that snowball going, especially with the Matilda as well. If they still want to go for a mid laner, they can go for something like the Lilia if they really want to gain control of that early game. With a Ling, high mobility, Barats also can hold their ground, especially during utility engages. But let's see what Aura has to say about this first. A Tigreal already coming in, which means that this Angela will be flexed into the mid lane. A last pick in, supposedly for Aran, unless Gugun wants to flex this Fredrin. But that's not going to be the case. Aran going to be on the Lapu Lapu.
Wow, a lot of aggression from the side of Aura, even though initially we figured it will be the ones that are going to be a bit more passive with the Claude, with the Angela. If they want to try and go for a big fight in the early game, if Yawi lands a massive combo, a massive implosion here, there's a chance that Aura can take over from the early game. That's a big if though, and we're still waiting for the final pick from Alter Ego. It's gonna be the Faramis on top of all this mobility. When it comes to a brawl in the mid game, I feel like Aura has an edge, but Alter Ego, if they can use the sustain effectively, might be a whole different story.
So we're definitely waiting on a level 4 power spike coming in from Alter Ego, right? With the Matilda, with the Faramis as well. And that actually might be a problem if Aura are trying to double down on the early game. And again, I'm just not a big fan of Angela in the mid lane, especially without any Natan or something like that, because of the lack of magic damage. I think it's okay for the early stage of the game if you can get that mid game rolling, but in the later stage, it's concerning.
Maybe Aura, or say, this may be a real life message. They don't need magic to beat Alter Ego.
All they want to do is use complete brute force, and they're gonna wrangle this game out of the hands of Alter Ego. No magic required. This ain't a Disney movie.
It ain't a Disney movie indeed, because if it was a Disney movie, all of the teams would make it to playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 1. The Red Dragons and the 3 Face Mask, their final showdown, their last tango. We'll see how it goes and who will be able to lead this series in this first game. And so we get a little look into what we're going to be expecting here with Taz on the Ling versus Gugun on the Fredrin.
Gonna be a bit of difference in clearing speed, but Taz is really doing a great job. But you can see Yawi already looking to try and be a nuisance, trying to reset the buff right here, and being a Tigreal. Level 1 with the hammer already. He won't be having a lot of damage, but he has a bit of that utility, and he's gonna be relatively untouched here.
Okay, Taz secures it with Retribution, jumps forward, Yawi. He targeted down by Taz, but he dashes out of it. Yehezkiel ties him up too, forcing Taz to go for the Finch Poise out, and Lethal Wanderer going to be taken away by Gugun, but he's actually walking up just carefully now. Doesn't want to use his Retribution, wants to just secure his camps. Angel's actually winning out against Krite in the mid lane.
When it comes to the spam mobility, the Angel definitely has a bit of an edge. They both have the Wilderness Blessing, so it's all about roaming to the side lanes and getting the lanes ahead. For Aura, I think Aran has a bit more to say in that laning phase. As I say that though, Pi will be just stomping him around. On the gold lane though, Kabuki with the tenacity. He's expecting all the aggression coming in, and it's on the hands of Nino to really decide how he can really dictate this lane to make it as difficult as possible for Kabuki to get that farm and scale into that mid to late game.
For sure. Meanwhile, oh, Kabuki? Oh, he's just trying to clear the lane here. Nino, want to look for a punish. Doesn't find it just yet. Both of these teams already starting to roam towards this top side. I think there should be a buff contest soon. Taz looks like he's posturing for it, dealing some damage onto Yawi. But in the top lane, Pi against Aran, the Barats and the Lapu Lapu. They're now going and centering on this turtle.
Bravest Fighter into the Death Welcome. Aran gonna be able to find the stun, but Taz walks in with a Tempest of Blades, gets that down. Appraiser's Wrath now used up. Gugun gonna be taken very low, and oh, it's first blood over to the Tigreal. Gugun survives somehow. They sacrifice Yaoi, and they don't get anything in return. The family strikes first.
Uh-oh. You know what they say? When Alter Ego are able to gain control over that first turtle, that's usually how they set the tempo for the rest of the game. And with that being said, Aura, they're falling back now.
It's a great move from Alter Ego to go for the aggressive play. They know they do have a more mobile, a more quote-unquote safe jungler compared to Gugun, who has to be staying in the front. They try their best to really match the crowd control and the utility, but against a Mathilda and Faramis, that early game is just so difficult to really manage, especially when you're just relying on the Angela as the main sustain tool. It's going to be a bit later when there's a bit more damage from the side of Aura, especially when Kabuki joins the fights, when he can go for these big combos.
Papulu versus the world. In the talent prediction, the only lone wolf for Alter Ego.
As usual. It's
As
always
As usual.
Papulong. He just wants to go against the wave, man. He
doesn't want to
like,
conform.
he's not a surfer, you know? You don't go against the wave. Aran in the 1v1 against Taz. Oh, whoa. Absolutely confident Aran up against the Assassin. And now he actually walks back in lane with super low HP, uses the slash part of the Bravest Fighter, and he gets the farm. Hey, wow.
Risky maneuvers from Aran for sure, but look at Taz already using the pressure of his team to really go in and be a lot more aggressive here, clearing lanes, also going to the jungle and stealing away camps from Gugun. You can't really win out in retribution battles that easily if you are losing in EXP, and that is what Alter Ego are trying to use to try and get Taz the advantage.
He gets a little bit of gold there too. Yeah, this is a problem, right? Because in Turtle number 1, both of these junglers were actually at the same level. They were both at level 4, but now that Taz is ahead, that's going to be a big problem. He's ahead 2 levels now. What's Aura's plan here? Are they just going to leave it be? Are they going to let the turtle go? But how do they stop the snowball happening if they do that?
They have to wait for Kabuki to get a power spike, really channel all their resources to try and get Kabuki ahead. Because again, they do have crowd control, but they don't really have the same kind of damage to burst through both the Mathilda and the Faramis. But it seems like they're going to be trying still for this fight, leaving a Hesio to try and play that macro game.
2 levels ahead earlier. Now, oh, Yaoi takes Taz off the wall, goes in, and man, my god. This got so much space for Gugun to get the retribution. Now, Krite gonna fall in the hands of Aran with the sword. Yaoi targeted down by Taz, who's looking for the assassination onto the roamer. But now Yehezkiel walks up, gets the healing. Taz taps the blades, knocking 2 up, picking up the blades as well, and picking up Yaoi. Yehezkiel able to get away with Gugun, posturing in front. Turtle for kill.
Well, I guess that's one way to do it, right? If you're losing in the retri battles, if you're losing out on EXP, then, you know, just completely deny that away from Taz, that opportunity. Aura going to be able to pick up that second turtle, but they do have to trade it for a kill. At this point, we are going to take a little sneak peek into the items. How's it looking so far?
Berserker Fury completed for Taz, so he's going for more crits. We'll have to see if he adds more attack speed to this, to be having a bit more of a dueling presence, but Kabuki gets jumped on.
Almost predicted as well. Kabuki still staying. Blazing Duet going to be used up as another realm pops in. Good with a sandwich maneuver. Trying to stop them. That's an implosion as well. Catching Nino. And that's a full-on initiation from Gugun with the help of the hard guard. Nino going to be gunned down by Kabuki as Gugun finds a double with an Appraiser's Wrath. Krite and Nino down.
Beautiful counter engage from Aura. You thought that maybe perhaps Kabuki would have gotten taken off the board, but he understood the limits of this Claude. He was able to go back in, deal some damage, and now...
Ooh.
Is he really going to go do this?
Seems like he should be able to. He has the retribution, pulled back, knocked up, and now Aran takes him out. The brave fighter swings his sword, and the assassin cannot withstand those slashes.
Okay, it's going a bit backwards now for Alter Ego.
Well, absolutely denied right there. It's a great play from Taz to understand that his buff is being contested, so he goes for the switch, but Aura, they're too slick with it. They can read exactly what Alter Ego are trying to go for, and they counter it. Having the Bravest Fighter means that you don't have the same kind of team fight presence when it comes to frontlining, when it comes to just overall crowd control compared to the Barats. But damage, that is something massive that Aran has at his disposal. Now 2-0, even in the macro game, if he wants it to pie or all the other squishier members, there's a chance he will go for a massive play, and he has a chance to just burst someone down completely.
And now Gugun has kind of catched up in that EXP, right? Level 10 compared to that level 11 that Taz has been able to get, but here we go.
Yeah, for this welcome though, you cannot go for the retreat battle when you're inside of the stomach of Detena. Aran with the stun onto Krite now has the swings as well in the mid lane. Kabuki with the blazing duet, but the Netherrealms cancels that out. Gugun, this place for a bit, is able to sustain with the help of the photo and the healing from Yehezkiel. Turtle and kill for Alter Ego. Nothing back in return for Aura, but they're looking for something with Pi getting taunted and Fraser's wrath. But it's not enough to take him down, not even to threaten his life.
Interesting dynamic right here in the neutral objective take for both these teams. For Aura, they have the tankier, more flexible, more sustainable jungler, so they can really contest. But for Alter Ego, they have frontline that can serve as the main target. But look at Aran.
Still able to get some shielding. Aran, oh my god, flickers forward as well. Did not pay off. Taz was able to escape, and now they're on the back foot. Kabuki still doing some damage right there. There's a good implosion, catches Nino. Plays into web by Kabuki, chasing him down, not able to catch him just yet as Rossi pops in the guiding wind, but Pi is all but isolated. The Dino taken down.
Man, it's so fortunate for Aura that that golden staff hit right before they went in for that team fight, and you can see the damage output coming in from Kabuki. And it was a problem, right? I think Nino tried to out-sustain and out-damage Kabuki, but he couldn't. Had to retreat from that entire situation, and it kind of turned around from there. But Arashi, I have a question. We've seen so many shades of the Ling. Wait a second. Okay. We've seen so many shades of the Ling, but Taz picked up the GDS. Why GDS in this scenario?
Getting more movement speed when you pop the ultimate, I feel like the way he has been showing in his usage is that he wants to go for, of course, the damage from the Great Dragon Spear, but he also wants to be able to just go with the Tempest of Blades, go for the burst damage, and then immediately be able to just escape with the faster movement speed. He's trying to go for it now.
He goes for it, the guiding wind. Oh, circling eagle. Rossi flying to his demise. Gugu now going for the taunt, locks him down. Oh! With the implosion and the instant collapse from the dragons. Holy!
They get it. They get the wombo combo that we were talking about, that we feared happening down. And that is the result that you get. 4 members taken off the board. Pi, the only dinosaur left to try and go for this contest. I don't think that he should do it. I guess he's just opening up vision and preparing for the rest of the members to pop off. But I think it's going to be too late. Aura with a free Lord from that play by Yawi.
Yawi, man. We said Aura were struggling because they did not have the main front line. They can't allow Aran to stay in the front, so Gugun is always open to be hit with the Daytona's welcome, to be crowd controlled for the neutral objective take. But this is how Aura plays it, right? No front line, but they have Yawi just waiting around, waiting to make that big play happen. And despite having the Purifies, Alter Ego were caught completely blindsided there. And now Aura is going to go and use this Lord. And with how aggressively they're playing, they might go for base towers completely, depending on how they're able to actually threaten Alter Ego.
Slowly but surely, just now sieging that base, and it's Yawi with that hammer, actually taking it down up top with the help of the big boy Lord. This Lord is a menace so far. I mean, we saw RQ win with the Lord to take the base. Alter Ego need to deal with this, and so far they're dealing with it by just staying in their base. They need to play it safe, but are they waiting for anything?
The longer the game goes, the more damage and extra HP the Faramis can provide with the Netherrealm. And Taz, of course, will have more chances to go for splits, to go for 1v1s and massive outplays. Already with the Endless Battle, it's going to give him a lot more burst potential and a bit of sustainability as well. And a bit of, on the other hand though, Nino on the Brody won't be scaling anywhere as close to Kabuki. So when it comes to a big fight, I don't really think Alter Ego can really expect to match Aura completely, but they can go for small pickoffs. And if that happens, they have a chance to really turn this around and then play that macro game.
Aura already with the invades. Again, not allowing that purple buff to go to the hands of Taz, completely denying it away. And at this point, Aura with a 5k gold lead. So what's the plan for Alter Ego? If Nino can't scale to the scale of Kabuki, do they try to look for a pickoff? Is that just the only thing that they can look for here?
Pickoffs and macro, definitely not big team fights because they do lose out in the main initiations. But if they can really wait in the base and try and fight this with the base on their backs, technically, Aura doesn't really have good siege. With a Angela as the mid lane, with Kabuki being shorter range, they don't really chunk down turrets that fast either. They can wait there and then maybe find an opportunity to try and get some good burst damage and then re-engage later when Aura gets lower. Because if you look at the items, Nino is already on the Malefic Roar, so he has a good deal of penetration, but he's forced to immediately go for that Wind of Nature, considering the fact that Aran on the Lapu Lapu is just so tanky and still doing a lot of damage right here. So that's the problem. There's a lot of tools that Aura have, like the Bravest Fighter and the Implosion, and all three are always caught off guard because they're looking for one, but they're getting hit by the other.
Take a look at the items though earlier. Alter Ego, they don't have any tanky members, right? Technically just the Barats, but he's also severely under-leveled and just below. So Kabuki actually is opting to go for the Windtalker instead of the Malefic Roar as his final item. To just go for more movement speed and shred towards these damage dealers, these squishy members. Taz picks up the purple, but yeah, that's why we said in the draft, that's the Ling, right? You need to go for the selfish maneuvers, and now you can't contest for the Lord. I don't think they can contest either, but Eterna, what's up with you, huh? What's up with you? What's up with you?
What's up with me?
Why is it when you're casting, Aura always win, huh?
It's
and
a
when
coincidence.
when you're not here, they play like a different team.
Look, we don't even know if they're gonna win yet, okay? It's a best of 3. Okay, this is just the first game, and you know,
Maybe if you leave, they might throw.
things happen.
Because
a lack of
what is
faith
this?
we're
What is
hearing
this
it, Eterna?
coincidence, huh? It happens
don't
once,
know.
okay, coincidental. It happens 4 times, okay. This is the 8th time now. Hello?
Maybe we'll talk about it after the game.
Oh, maybe that's why Yaoi has a boost whenever you're here. Taz gets out, but he uses the Tempest Ablaze, and that's his welcome now. Gonna get 2, but Aura, they baited so many of those resources. Hey, Turner, what have you done?
I don't know.
Eterna being put on the spot right here, and so is Alter Ego with the Lord coming through.
Boom, that's a charge. Boom, that's Yaoi with a shove back, but Rasi gets out with the guiding wind. Gokun in the midst, the Praiser's Wrath. Oh, it actually connects onto Nino, taking him to half HP.
Oh.
No Desert's Welcome. Oh, Rasi's gonna be shot down from the skies. And now the Dino Aran with the Bravest Fighter. Nino popping the Wind of Nature. Kabuki diving deep with a Purify, surviving and going back to the Battle Mirror image. Will finally die, but Taz can only but run away. Aran gets the hard guard. The base gets imploded by Yaoi, and Aura take game 1.
The Red Dragons lead the series here in this best of 3. At the final moment, was that a triple kill? Whose triple kill was that?
There were triple kills all across the board. I mean, earlier, Gugun got one. But in
Wiped
the end
out.
there, that was just
It
complete
was a
demolishing.
it was a
of
triple kill
Alter
for
Ego.
Kabuki.
Buki man,
Buki man.
dove in deep.
What are your thoughts, Arashi?
I think that Aura absolutely just took control there. Alter Ego, despite having some tools of their own, seem to be completely outmatched and out.